Hey, we're going to finish up our exploration of batch 206 distilleries with two of their barrel-aged products that are neither wine nor whiskey. We're going to go ahead and discuss their barrel-aged gin and their barrel-aged agave spirit. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Scott. You tuned into the Rookie Wine and Whiskey Enthusiast channel, YouTube's primary channel for discussing Washington State wines and whiskeys. And today we're going to discuss some spirits from Washington State, but typically not exclusive. Anyways, you know what I mean. So that being said, we're going to finish today with batch 206's, two of their barrel-aged spirits. Now, when it comes to craft distilleries, there are two ways that craft distilleries that are just starting out need to bring in money. So if a craft distillery is focusing on whiskey, which is what really is the hot thing right now, a lot of craft distilleries will go ahead to a company like MGP in Indiana or Four Roses or Old Forester, and what they will go ahead and do is they will go ahead and buy pre-aged spirits, pre-aged bourbon, pre-aged whiskey, bring it to their craft distillery and bottle it under their own name, which is perfectly fine as long as they are upfront about it. It's labeled there on the bottle, hey, produced in Indiana, produced or distilled in Kentucky. That way that distiller can now go ahead and sell something immediately while their own spirits are aging. The other thing a lot of craft distilleries will do is they will go ahead and produce a clear spirit, something that doesn't need to be aged, something that they can immediately distill, put into a bottle, throw a label on it, and say, hey, I've got something to sell, it's my own product. So what a lot of companies will do is they will go ahead, most of them will produce a vodka, most of them will produce a gin, some will produce an agave spirit. You notice I didn't say tequila because only tequila and mezcal can be made by certain rules. It can only be labeled as such because of certain rules. Same with bourbon. So what batch 206 went ahead and did is they produced a vodka, they produced a gin, and that allowed them to bring that cash in to start generating the cash flow. Their gin, now I'm not going to review their vodka. They don't do a barrel-aged vodka anyways, and to be honest with you, it's vodka. It's garbage. I don't like vodka, never really have. It's good for basically a Moscow Mule and for other cocktails because it doesn't have any flavor. But gin, on the other hand, I grew up with a mother that loved her gin and tonics, and she would buy a good gin, and you know, that's probably the first cocktail I ever remember trying was a gin and tonic. Now, batch 206 makes an awesome gin. I'll go ahead and read right off the label here. By the way, this is their Counter Old Tom Gin, which is what their barrel-aged gin is called. Now, their gin is infused with juniper, verbena, tarragon, lavender, cucumber, and orange. It is barrel-aged, though, not in their bourbon barrels, but in Hungarian oak barrels that held Chardonnay. So we have a barrel-aged spirit that was barrel-aged with wine, and we have their agave spirit, which was barrel-aged in their old log cabin bourbon barrels. And I'll put a link to that particular video up here in the corner. But let's go ahead and dive right into the gin. The gin right off the bat, I am getting a lot of that juniper, but up front is that citrus orange note. It's almost like a citrus oil or an orange oil right from the peel, followed closely by cucumber. And I love cucumber in gin. It gives it a fresh, a nice refreshing taste and feel to a gin. Now the tarragon, I'm getting a little bit of it. It's more of a spicy note on it, but it doesn't come across as tarragon. Now I can also taste a little bit of white fruit, and I suspect that's from the Chardonnay influence from the Hungarian oak. A little bit of maybe pear, a little bit of honeydew melon. That is good. Let's go ahead and have a sip of this. The gin has an immediate drying feel to it. It's not an extra dry gin, but it does have a drying note to it. The white fruit, the pear that I'm getting from the Chardonnay really is meshing well with the citrus and the juniper and the cucumber. The cucumber comes out strong in this, and it's all the cucumber is the accent in this gin, more so than the juniper. A lot of gins you have nowadays, especially craft gins, comes across really strong on the juniper. Not on this particular batch. It's a nice blend. It's a nice balance. This gin here, this barrel-aged gin, I would be hard-pressed to put this in a cocktail. I like all the flavors. It's a very complex gin. It's something that allows you to, I'll be honest with you, come summertime, I'm going to have a bottle of this. I have no problems pouring this over a couple of ice cubes and just sitting out on my deck, looking at the lake going, wow, this is perfect. It's got a very refreshing note to it. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else. Yeah, that cucumber. This time I'm getting a little bit more of a sweet honey note with that dry, as it starts to draw them out, I'm getting a little bit more of a sweet honey or vanilla note. I think that's probably more of the oak influence as well. Boy, that is beautiful. Absolutely love that gin. All right, the other thing that they do is they do have an agave spirit. Now, when we were up at the distillery, I did taste a little bit of their agave syrup. Oh my God, I've never had anything so sweet and luscious. Very, the spirit, the syrup that they made this from, oh, you could pour it all over pancake. I mean, I don't care what you pour. You could pour it on ice cream and it would make sweet ice cream even sweeter. It was that luscious. But what they've done is they brought in a whole bunch of blue agave syrup, fermented it, distilled it, and then they set it aside, a good portion of it. Now they do have a clear version, and this, by the way, is called Sueno Azul, blue agave. They set aside some of it and put it in their old log cabin bourbon barrels. So let's go ahead. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a tequila fan or an agave spirit fan per se. It goes back 20 some odd years when I had some bad experiences with tequila when I was in the military. And I've just kind of avoided it since then. But I will be honest with you, I have some friends that really are into some high-end tequilas and some high-end agave spirits. And they're trying to convince me and convert me. And I'll be honest with you, this is probably coming closest to converting me to explore more. So as I'm giving these notes, I'm going to sound a little, this is where the true rookie comes in. I'm not very experienced on this type of spirit, so you'll have to forgive me if I sound a little rambling on this, but right off the bat, I guess the barrel influence is right there. Vanilla, toffee, a little bit of caramel. I am getting a burnt pineapple, sort of like a grilled pineapple note as well. There's a plantain, which is a sort of banana sweetness to it as well, but it has a little bit of a tang to it. That is so unique. That is so completely out of what I'm used to reviewing, which is bourbons, scotches, and wines. Let's go ahead and have a sip of this. Very similar to the sweetness that the agave syrup has. Imagine taking that pineapple, that grilled plantain, and putting some of that syrup on there. That's kind of what I'm getting, but I'm also getting the viscous, it has a very viscous mouthfeel. And I'm getting a lot of that toffee and vanilla around my mouth right now as it is. And it's just it's oily. It's completely different. Whereas the gin dried out my mouth, this has a very savory feel to it. It's making my mouth water a little bit. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else. A little bit of a bite there. There's a little bit of a spice as well to this, and I'm not quite sure where it's coming from. And it may just be kind of in my head. I'm going to have to explore a lot more tequilas and a lot more mezcals before I can really start to narrow these flavors down. But I do like this as a sipping spirit. I think the barrel aging probably would not do very well for a margarita or a cocktail like that. I don't know. I could be completely wrong too, but I don't know. I'll have to let my wife experiment. She likes to make a good margarita, and why not give her a chance of doing this? So, anyways, let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like barrel-aged spirits? Please let me know down in the comments down below. Also, and I forgot to do this, completely forgot to do this. If you like this channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And then after you hit the subscribe button, a little bell icon will pop up. Hit the bell icon. That way, when I do upload this video and other videos like it, you'll be notified. So, anyways, have you had Batch 206's products before? Let me know in the comments down below. Is there another craft distillery's barrel-aged spirits that maybe I should be on the lookout for? Also, we'll put that down below. If there's something you guys like, or if something you didn't like about this, let me as well. And then don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get this bottle finished, or this glass finished anyways. So anyways, as always, folks, we're going into the month of February now. We're going to do, I'm going to do a couple of Scotch videos as well. I think this month, maybe a bourbon as well. I am going to Woodinville Whiskey next weekend, the weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They have a special release. I can't wait for the special release. Let's just say it involves one of their whiskeys and Ardbeg. So, that being said, as always, please drink responsibly, and life is too short for either bad wine or bad whiskey. This is both a good gin and a good agave spirit. So, I guess that's going to fit into the exit as well. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, there's a lot to explore here.